the failure of Netanyahu is not just by managing the pandemic. No. What you see is the collapse of entire ideology of power, of governing. The idea to destroy the Israeli welfare state that we built 30, 40, 50 years ago now came to a test, to a moment of truth. If the state is not prepared to confront together with a social problem like the virus, the results are disaster in healthcare and economic disaster, exactly like in the United States. What you see here is the mirror image of what's going on in America. This concept of how to run a state failed. Now, put on top of it politicized management of the crisis, lack of true leadership, and the result is what you see in the streets of Jerusalem. That's the point.
Dr. Sneh, there is no lockdown now in Israel. There's talk about it coming, that it will have to happen, etc., but it has not happened yet. Do you think that right now, immediately, Israel needs to be in a national lockdown, and for how long?
I don't think that national lockdown is the solution. It may turn the situation even worse, or maybe dramatically worse. Because when you say national lockdown, it means that you shut down everything. So many hundreds of thousands of people will remain jobless. What is the background for this social protest that you watch in the television? The fact that many people who were hardworking Israelis lost the ability to bring home food. That's the point. You want to make it worse by closing more industries, more kinds of services. It's stupid. The treatment is to take government financing and give it to the people who are in the worst need now. Now, how to contain the pandemic? It should be done through a selective and differential treatment in the places that are most infected. It requires experience, professional wisdom of epidemiology, and leadership to talk to those people who are directly affected now. I don't see it, fortunately.
Dr. Sneh, you mentioned leadership. Do you see the leadership coming from Prime Minister Netanyahu? What do you make of the protesters' demands that he needs to now resign?
They are sick and tired of him. That's why they demand that he will step down. He doesn't show leadership, unfortunately. Because leadership is to know exactly what to do in every moment, and we don't see that. In the past, he listened to all the good, and I may say the best professionals in epidemiology. Many of his steps were affected by politics. The management of the crisis, of the medical crisis, was much politicized, and this is not leadership. This is not leadership. Leadership includes the ability to share power and responsibility to the treatment of the crisis. He refused to share it with the Minister of Defense, for instance.
Doctor...
The Ministry of Defense is not playing here the role it could play because of political reasons.
A very interesting point there. Again, calling for the defense ministry to have more, really, clout in this situation. Dr. Ephraim Sneh, former health minister here in Israel. Sir, thank you for being with us and giving us your thoughts.